The first half of the 19th century was a tumultuous time for the Yucatan Peninsula. The Maya were in open rebellion, establishing the autonomous state of Chon Santa Cruz. The small British and Mexican outcroppings in the jungle were under constant fire from the indigenous freedom fighters. Marcus Canul was a chief of the Icachi Maya. The Icachi were on friendly terms with the government of neighboring Mexico, but had a history of conflict with the colony of British Honduras, Mexico itself having a disputed claim over land in the colony. Canul had fought the British in 1866, capturing for ransom a number of woodcutters working for the British Honduras Company in Rio Bravo. Canul and his men routed a detachment of the British troops on December 21st, 1866 at the Battle of San Pedro Yalubac. In 1867, the British mounted a counteroffensive equipped with newly arrived Congreve rockets. This counteroffensive burned down the villages of San Pedro, Santa Teresa, San Jose, Naranjo, Cerro, Santa Cruz, and Junboche. A small force of Icache Maya advanced into British Honduras again in 1868 and made demands for rent on land over which they claimed ownership. However, Canul disavowed the actions of this force. Orange Walk Town, located around 10 miles from the Mexican border in northern British Honduras, had its origin as a logging camp on the New River. In 1872, the town had a population of around 1,200, largely mixed-race Native American or mixed-race European workers, and a small British garrison. On August 31st or early September 1st, 1872, Canul led a force of the Maya across the Rio Hondo from Mexico. This has been described as being 150 to 180 strong, with around 100 non-combatant camp followers. On September 1st, he launched an attack on Orange Walk to further his aim of collecting rent payments and returning lands he claimed were seized from his people. A British press report of the time stated that Canul had intended to seize the town's magistrate with the intention of collecting a ransom. British forces comprised Lieutenant Joseph Graham Smith and 37 men of the West India Regiment, together with the unit's assistant surgeon John Dallas Edge. At around 8 a.m., Canul led about 180 armored Maya against the garrison's barracks, a 30-foot wide and 60-foot long structure built from 3-inch wooden stakes and roofed in palm leaves that was situated midway between the town and the river. The Maya forces were able to approach the town undetected, a fact which the British suspect they had sympathizers in the local population. Canul split his force into 3 equal portions, one that attacked and looted the town, and 2 that converged upon the barracks. Edge and Smith were out of the barracks bathing at the time of the attack, and upon hearing the first shots, had to make a desperate rush over the 60 yards from their bathtubs to the building. Edge was completely naked, and Smith clothed only in his drawers. Smith was shot in the back during the run from his bath. The bullet is said to have struck near to both his heart and spinal column, and both he and Edge thought the wound to be fatal. Smith and Sergeant Belisario made a dash back to his quarters, braving the Maya crossfire to retrieve the key for the garrison magazine. Belisario then retrieved the portable magazine from an adjoining room and passed the contents through the wall to the garrison, all while under heavy fire. Smith then took up a position in the door of the barracks and returned fire against the Maya until he was struck by a bullet. Edge ordered the defenders to reinforce the walls of the barracks with their mattresses, which were sufficient to stop bullets. One of the garrison, Private Bidwell, had been on a detachment at a commissariat store in the town when the attack occurred. He took position in a compound overlooking the barracks and fired off his 10 rounds of ammunition at the Maya. He then ran for the barracks to rejoin his comrades, but was mortally wounded in doing so. The garrison kept up a defense of the structure for some 4 to 6 hours, during which time the Maya set fire to the town. At one point, 2 American settlers, Price and Brodro, joined the battle. Arriving from an outlying ranch, they found themselves to the rear of the Maya, but by opening fire, they were able to cause enough confusion to ride over to the barracks. The Americans advocated a retreat over the river. Edge disagreed, stating that the act would kill Smith and endanger the men, though he would permit the Americans to try on their own. Both Price and Boudreaux decided to remain in the barracks. A number of civilian refugees from the town also joined Edge and his men. Many of the others, including all the European women and children, escaped from the town by boat to nearby San Esteban. Eventually, Marcus Knoll was mortally wounded and the Maya defeated, suffering some 30 to 50 casualties and an unknown number of wounded. The survivors escaped into Mexico. British losses were 2 men killed and 14 severely wounded. More than 300 bullet holes lined the walls of the barracks. The morning after the attack, a rumor spread that another force of Maya was forming to resume the assault, and a British patrol was sent out which found only a scattered few in the bush. Edge claims to have spent the next 3 days in leading patrols to secure the town and extracting more than 26 bullets from the defenders. A 20-man British relief force arrived on the 3rd day, with a more substantial reinforcement arriving on the 4th day. The battle was the last conflict involving the Maya and British Honduras, and also the last serious attack on the colony. The Icachi Maya thereafter remained in uneasy peace with the British authorities. The garrison was reinforced by a further 50 men of the West India Regiment from Jamaica on September 25th as a direct result of the attack. And in 1874, the British colonial government constructed a fort on the site of the battle. Lieutenant Smith recovered from his wounds and was promoted to command a company of the 97th Regiment. Assistant Sergeant Edge was promoted to Staff Sergeant on December 3, 1872, for his role in the battle, and later became a Major General in the Royal Army Medical Corps. Belisario was awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal.